welcome back to session 11? It's 11th session of the day.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. We skipped the prior week. However, everyone except for Sarah has moved to a new profession. We'll catch you up outside the game.
Wow.
Sorry, we're gone.
Underachieved.
We'll get you, I know. We'll get you taken care of, though, outside of the session. So, we've already rolled initiative. We've already determined fortune points. Maybe we should talk about, like, starting with Adam. Let's talk about what's Pipistrelle is a new profession. Or what you were than what you are now.
Pipistrella was an Auspex, and now she's an augur.
Like an auger for plumbing.
Yeah, she's just a tool.
That is plumb crazy.
Augur.
Augur.
Yeah, she is now even more a follower of the custodian, and now would typically be the point in Zweihander where you would choose a god to follow and get their blessings. But because we're showing a little bit of what's to come in Divinity Unleashed, that's why I had access to some of it before. So the professional trait is I can, if we see a body, I can touch the body, make an incantation test, and I'll learn 3 things about that person's life.
You did have that. You did do that before, didn't you?
Yeah, Orwell could do that, yeah.
So, Dave, tell us about Guillaume's old profession and new profession.
My old profession, or Guillaume's old profession, was as an investigator. And now, after living some rough and ready living with Thomas and my boy Clovis, we switched up, and I will now be a pledged guard. So trying to take my toughness and keep folks safe.
What's the trait do?
Yes, my trait is the enforcer. So if I'm engaged with an ally, and they take, there it is. When engaged with an ally, I can make a coordination test. If they fail to counter, parry, resist, or are able to do nothing, I can spend 0 AP, make a coordination test, push them 1 yard away from the engagement. They suffer nothing. I would then instead take the suffer, whatever to be suffered. So,
I will suffer.
He's such like an emo look. He's got a hood of a hangman on him, but he's like a generally bright, happy dude. Such an emo vibe.
But close.
Watchman first, Sellsword next. And then Dog of War, which I think everybody probably knows at this point, no serious injuries.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Are you being serial?
And then, of course, is it tough as nails comes as one of the traits, so you take that and
no moderate,
no moderate either.
Why no serious?
Wait, is that so you can only go from lightly wounded to dead?
No. Injuries.
So he can ignore moderate and serious injuries.
Okay.
You don't get injuries until grievous.
For the sellsword. They're just gonna shrug it all off.
That's pretty cool.
Speaking of jokers, Thomas, talk about your new profession.
Thomas is a bailiff, and now he is an armiger as well. The armiger's professional trait is Iron Citadel. Every time you suffer damage, not go down the damage condition track, but suffer damage from a melee weapon, temporarily increase your damage threshold by +1 cumulatively, lasting until you are slain or combat ends. You must be wearing armor with a heavy quality to grant this advantage.
So any damage, like even if they don't beat your damage threshold, that goes up?
That's what it says in the book.
That's crazy.
And that's +1 each time.
+1 each time. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
You can't kill me! I'm just going to throw Toman in front of everything.
That's right. And if you miss
is he almost dead? Drag him out.
That's right, and drag him out. That's right. Pony up. And finally, Espillicent.
I went from Pioneer to a Man-at-Arms. I have the Shield Wall. When engaged with an ally, they fail to parry or cannot do so, you may immediately parry in their stead for 1 AP. If successful, they suffer no damage. I always have a shield.
So a pledged guard and a man-at-arms walk into a bar with a character, and they essentially kind of render in with an armature, and they kind of you can very easily pair up characters to like repel attacks, and if they get hit, then you can just throw yourself in the midst of it.
I know.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are gonna be protected.
You yell me,
Let's go. Let's
Alright.
go, Effie.
So
I just want some more killing.
Epi.
let's talk about.
Nice work.
It's Guillaume.
Wilhelm.
Wow.
Well, what was your character's last name?
Bivouac.
Bivouac. That's right. Gil Bivouac. Quite literally now, because he is pledged guard.
Pledge guard, yes indeed.
So let's turn to last game session. What happened? You're definitely in the bell tower.
So I scaled the wall and went up to this massive bell and was just ready to cut it down and destroy a person. A giant,
Yeah.
ferocious dude.
Someone had to go and talk to him.
But yeah, instead
We met our old friend, Mr. Big Hat.
Oh yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Mr. Big Hat.
I was
former
ready,
owner.
but we didn't actually do anything. We conversed with the man.
Well, we haven't
Big
decided to do anything.
Mr. Big Hat, yeah. So we're kind of like in that conversation, and he stepped out of the light, or stepped out of the circle. Stepped out of, because he was sitting kind of in the circle, very stoic. And who was talking to him?
Everyone.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Except for me.
And then,
We
yeah.
learn about the lamplighter.
Yes. Who was, turns out in a former life to be the Darius Moregrave? Moreau, thank you. Who owned the now settlement that we're using or building.
Is he alive?
No.
Is he dead?
Is he dead?
No.
No.
Also no.
He is
Is he
in some
something
way
else?
kind of
Yes.
enslaved or at least broken to believe that he has to continue ringing this bell for what is going to be eventual salvation from the Minister of Light.
Yeah.
And are we in
And we were trying to convince him that perhaps maybe we don't try and pretend this guy's a god, and try to convince him that maybe you should help out other survivors for us.
And Pippa Straw said, well, you know,
That's right.
we need to make sure that you're safe to bring back, or that, you know, I can accept you being here. And if you cross this line of salt on the ground and don't get hurt, then we got no issues.
He crossed the line.
You got her. You go.
And what does that mean?
Over the line, Darius.
So that essentially
One
like
foot.
for
Over the
so
line.
besides the mechanics, like her belief is that like if you are like something that the custodian would abhor, then it will hurt you.
Right.
And so like mechanically, it's nothing supernatural can cross it without getting hurt. But for her religious beliefs, it's that it's
Anybody
something
who's
that the
cheating the custodian? Is that,
yeah.
that's kind of how
Yeah.
you explained it.
Yeah, rob the custodian of what
Rob
was her due.
said,
Yes,
Of what?
of what was her due, his soul,
Soul.
Yeah. Or his body, his spirit, whatever.
His soul.
Sorry, whatever you
Okay, soul. Yeah, because I
yeah.
remember the
Spirit remains.
Okay, yeah.
But the
Right.
soul still burns. The soul,
Oh yeah, because
the
it's
soul's
the
what
wall
passes
of
on.
souls. Yes,
That's right.
yes.
Yeah.
So does Pipistrella now hate this person?
We don't know.
That's kind of
We actually had we kind of stopped because it was a critical point in the conversation where there was discussion around what to do with the lamplighter, and I think we should actually just pick back up.
Kill him. Oh.
Well, we're gonna
Thank you,
pick
Clovis.
back up where we left off because you had to step away that night.
Yeah, did that all happen in the hour that I was gone?
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
So we're gonna actually give everyone an opportunity to kind of go back and interact, and so we find that there is darkness.
Imprisoning me?
All that I
Yes.
see.
my old friend.
In the top of the bell tower, there are these large open shutters that look out over the city, this distant gray mist that lingers among the tops of the buildings that you would first mistake for perhaps the curls of smoke from chimneys, but no, it's just the mist lingering throughout this unnamed city. And the light of the sun cannot seem to penetrate inside this massive bell tower, despite the fact you can see perfectly outside. It's almost like the darkness is swallowing the light inside here. Before you, in the middle of the bell tower, is this man who's easily 9 feet tall. I mean, if you were standing on your feet, he's like this. He's very tall. You recognize this man almost instantly, Suspirion, so this person, because he was the one who was lunging toward you in the street, and so came with him the throng. The thing you remember was
trying to save you.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to save me.
That's what he said.
Trying to save.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So he is dressed. He's thin and dressed in clothes that have kind of been moth-eaten and rotten. Imagine like what a scarecrow may look like wearing the robes of a priest. But they've been soiled and frayed on the ends. And where his face would be, there is an absence of light. There are no features. There's only 2 smoldering white pinpricks that every once in a while can blink, like Orko. But he wears this very broad sun hat, like a witch hunter's hat. And in one hand, he has this long lamplighter's pole, like a lantern pole. At his feet, he has a storm lantern, like one would find on the front of a carriage, just resting in front of him. Where he's standing, particularly from your vantage point as Spillicent, you notice that he stepped out from beneath the bell. When he crossed the line, that Pipistrella, when you would cast your spell. And we pick back up where we left off. Like from that moment when he kind of begins to explain what he did. And we kind of came to a crucial moment where we needed to decide together like what to do. So he doesn't seem to approach. He will give you the time that you need to speak amongst one another. But you sense that even within this place where he has agreed to converse with you, there is still an air of danger. There's a sense of something around here.
That's right, because you still have the grave spider somewhere.
Yeah, something is clattering up inside the bell. And then off in the distance, the shade that was grievously wounded lingers along the edge, the periphery of your sight. The lamplighter himself is actually lightly wounded when he crossed the line of salt.
Over the line.
I'm going to utilize my Ren again, as to keep quiet.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the exact same thing I said last week. Give me the go, and I'm going to send it to Pipistrella. And that's...
So that's the sound of
I'm
clattering
just
angrily on a keyboard.
I'm just
sitting his
holding on and ready.
Just seeing this 9-foot tall man now lightly wounded, willing to cross this line. I am looking at everybody, saying, "Well, that is good enough for me." I say he comes home. He has something to teach. If we can show us how to get around the hordes without them gaining attention, I am all for it. He has knowledge and ability that we do not.
Yes, he did. And he did say that he knew one of the secrets of Soma, to move among the throngs of the damned, that he had that power, that secret, that he would so reveal to you.
And he was on the edge of potentially moving survivors towards us.
That's right.
Which I was trying to convince him to not keep worshipping people with power, but to actually decide to help people that are being crushed.
It sounds like he needs us he needs us not to kill him, and we need him to tell us information. So, in exchange, we should ask him for the secret, but not bring him into our group. He tried to kill me.
But still kill him.
Let's just kill him.
Easy.
Let's just kill him. I'm with you on this.
He's a
Let's just kill him.
half-dead person that we've never met. Why do you want to kill him immediately?
It ain't natural. I don't like it.
Well, we need to understand what's in our world. We have throngs that have no conscience, and then we have a half-dead person, and we don't understand where we are.
Not half.
Undead?
He was he has robbed, even if it's not his fault, he has robbed the custodian of what is her due.
I hate to bring up what we have perhaps just experienced at the base of this tower, but should I bring up Brother Walder in this moment?
Brother Walder.
Everybody dies. He was already
I
dead.
I was wrong.
Yes.
I will have to pay for that.
Just asking that perhaps we don't speak with such authority if we don't have that much knowledge to begin with.
We
But
checked.
it was proven. If you like, if we do decide to do what is right by the custodian, I can start it. For yet again,
Where's
if
the
this is not what-
custodian? Where's the custodian now, while we live in purgatory?
where is she? Why, she has been here with us the whole time.
Why live by her laws when we've all been hurt and almost dead, and some of us may be dead a little?
You may have been hurt, but I have not. I have kept her faith, and she has always been beside me.
So we should all go by your God that's not going to protect us.
You have your free will. You can do whatever you wish.
Well, I wish to not follow your God in their decision making. Now I would like to be friends with the strong, tall man that tried to kill me.
I was gonna say, what a turn!
Aspillicent is up, like, clinging and, like, rolling her eyes. And making the most quiet
What?
sigh possible.
To quote our incredibly charismatic friend Clovis, the gods are dead, Galileo. So, if we're making decisions on something that may or may not exist, I don't really like it.
Oh, I don't care about the gods. Fuck the gods. I mean, the martyr's balls, the steward's foot, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, say your words. Say whatever you want.
Clovis, what would you say does matter? Perhaps people? Perhaps trying to help people and save them as many as we can?
That's exactly what I've been trying to do. The man below, I'm sorry. He said all the wrong things. I don't feel bad that he's dead. He wouldn't have fit in anyway. Let's move forward. This thing can't come with us. If he can tell us something, that's fine.
He can help us on our goal. He doesn't necessarily have to come with us, but if he can
Fine
help
with
us
that.
in our goal.
How
The
can
goal
you
is
decide to kill a man down there and be regretful for it?
I'm not regretting.
Not you, but us. And then now just kill this guy too? So you want to just kill everybody?
I have a question for you.
I didn't kill the man downstairs, but
Are
You
you,
know,
honest?
I mean, you could.
Are you honestly asking
So,
because you want to know the
have that
answer, or because you are trying to cause strife?
I'm not trying to cause strife. I'm trying to understand the gauge at which we judge anyone or anything. And so far we judged someone on the custodian who was an innocent person we killed, and yet again here we are judging someone by the custodian standards.
I tend to agree with
pretty,
Suspiria.
Stody has got
the first one was my fault because I did not bring the custodian into it. I thought I knew what she wished. If I'd have drawn a line in sand, and if I'd have drawn a line of salt for him, he would have passed over it, and it would have been fine.
Lay the salt down and let me walk across it and see what happens.
salt's there.
Salt's right there.
And I'm gonna go walk across it. What happens?
See the effects of the spell?
Yeah.
Suspiria. Getting a little deep and I like it. It's awesome. Hit the big red button.
As you draw closer to the line, you feel these threads, almost as if they were attached not to your flesh or your clothes, but somewhere deep inside your soul, within your heart, within your spirit, that seems to not permit you to pass forward unless you succeed a resolve test.
What difficulty rating will this be?
Probably standard. I don't recall what the. Actually, it was probably hard because you casted it easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hard.
Oh, we don't. Are the.
Hard resolve.
Oh, they're over here now. Okay.
I'm over my number, so.
You find that you cannot pass beyond the line of salt.
Well, at that moment, Pipistrella takes out her holy symbol and she holds it in front of you and says, "Be gone. Get back to the Well of Souls with you." And she casts Turn Undead.
And she what?
Casts the spell Turn Undead.
On Suspiriancy?
Yes,
Okay.
You're trying to kill me?
I am.
Holy shit.
Turning already? That's going to be probably a challenging test.
We're going to channel for 3 steps.
Oh my god!
You challenged this guy. You kind of walked into this one.
I send my Ren to Clovis, and I just say, "Holy shit!"
So, let's see. So now it's going to be easy, and that's going to be 86. What's that? And an 83 will succeed.
Okay, roll damage.
And
Before you
0
do it.
sixes.
Everyone else listen to me. I have a soul. I'm sitting here and I'm breathing and I'm talking and I'm working with you.
That's between you and the custodian.
The spell, the salt doesn't work. Look, you have a crazy person telling you what you're
How much
supposed
damage
to
does
do.
she suffer?
Nobody passes the salt. Someone else should try.
22.
22 damage.
Um,
At this moment, you see the lamplighter step back and the eyes kind of widen. And there's a pause and he taps his staff on the ground. I told you. We're all trapped. And he steps back. When he begins to walk forward beyond the line of salt.
Yeah, that was.
I'll try to step over the salt.
You want to step over the salt?
I immediately.
She has
screw that.
Where are you at? Hold on a second. Pause. Where are you at
Yeah.
the damage condition?
I'm
you're at?
seriously wounded now.
I am
What did she?
pushing.
Hold on.
Pipistrella
What
in.
did she roll when she, instead of injury, is it she initially
Nothing.
catch? Okay. Yeah, you feel a searing pain. You want to
And
step
I'm
over the
gonna say,
line?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
somebody else step. This is bullshit.
I'm pushing Pipistrella into the line. Whether that's by whip, takedown, and force 3 yards or
Hold
whatever.
on, no. I mean, we're going by.
But
I
like,
think we should go by
Oh, no.
initiative, actually.
Sure.
So, Clovis, you have sword in hand, and
walk across the
I've
already walked across this.
the
line before.
lamplighter is standing right beside you, and as you approach the line of salt, I've been waiting for this moment for 10 game sessions. Make a hard resolve test to pass it.
Oh.
Nobody
of
has
a
passed beyond a single line of salt in 10
son
There
of
it is.
a bitch.
In the temple below.
In 10 game sessions. So the first one someone did, or?
Yeah.
Make a hard resolve test.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Oh, you. Brilliant.
This is good.
Okay. 24. 47 doesn't do it.
Okay. You find that there is something holding you back. It almost feels like somebody has raised a shield or built a wall or something physically holding you back from passing beyond the line of salt. You can see it kind of begin to scintillate in the air, almost looking like akin to
What the fuck?
curtains suspended in the air that seem to take shape.
I'll take my sword butt and try to.
Your sword passes clearly through it, but as your hand gets toward it, you can feel like a not a burning, but like a something incredibly painful, not within your hands, but within your chest cavity.
I'll go, as I'm bending over in pain, I'll look at Pipistrella and I'll say, "Are you just among demons?"
I would still like to push her into the line.
Yeah, she would have done that, but if you want to go ahead and push her,
I did.
Yeah,
No, I mean, if you're gonna go do it,
yeah,
do it.
she's going to
That's
test herself.
Pipistrella, you take a deep breath and you find somewhere deep within yourself to begin pressing forward. And I don't think you need to make a test because it is technically your own spell, so you just tell us what happens. What do we see?
Pipistrella steps over the line as there's a slight gray flame that surrounds her and it hurts her, dealing 9 damage to her as she goes from moderately wounded to seriously wounded And at that moment, she looks around at everyone and goes and jumps out the window to kill herself.
Is Pipistrella
Someone save
a yard from me at that point?
So let's talk about this for a second. So what makes the most sense narratively here, Adam?
I'm going to spend any fate point I can to kill Pipistrella.
We can
Every
save
single
her.
one.
What's that?
I have 2 fate points. I'm willing to spend 2 to kill her.
Okay.
She needs to die.
Wait,
She would never live with this.
can I use a fortune coin to change the scenario?
Not that
I want this
kind
to
of
happen.
anything I can do.
I want this to happen.
No.
What's that?
I want this to happen.
Holy okay.
Pipistrella
Clinging.
runs toward the window, and she plummets. You can feel the wind rushing past you. Whoop.
Well, how many stories is it? 4?
Yeah, I think
Far
we're
enough.
one. Yeah, and he said I think it was like
I mean,
9 yards.
remember when
I
you knocked
think it's
those,
what he said,
those
9 yards
death
between each
priests
level.
True. Yeah, true. They were
And that was even further down.
There was darkness.
Darkness.
I think it was like 9 yards a level. I think that's what it was. It was like we're on the 3rd or 4th. 4th, so 9 times 4, 36.
And there's
yards.
a moment where you are kind of looking disbelievingly beyond, and Pipistrella, you awaken somewhere else, somewhere you've been before. As you look around the cavern, at first there's shadow, and then there's a faint light of candles burning along the top of a stone sepulcher. It's almost like the mist has been parted for a moment as you awaken, and you're holding your sacred remnant, which is
Venetia's wimple.
you place it around your head, and you know you've been here before. This is the place where you would come to bring the sacred remnants away from the brass paladin.
Okay. Well, she is immediately going to try and test again. She will expand the reagent to draw a line of salt on the ground to step over it.
A pain similar to the one before.
She takes out her oil pot, pours it on herself, and sets herself on fire. She is bound and determined to kill herself.
Well, this is Groundhog Day.
I was gonna say he needs to fall in love now.
An intense, endless pain
Don't drive angry.
as you begin to burn. Meanwhile,
Don't drive angry.
back at the bell tower,
You're such a fun story.
the lantern bearer turns and says, I have tried this time and time again to escape, to leave. But we are all trapped. All of us.
I suppose the good thing about this is it does simplify things.
In what way?
Well, instead of going, oh, what are we gonna do next? And, oh, staying alive clearly would not. We're in some sort of bizarre purgatory. Then we just figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah,
I didn't say it was
nice
gonna
and
be
simple, right?
I didn't say it was gonna be easy. I said it was simple. Much different.
I'm gonna go to the window and look down.
You look far down at the bottom of where Pipistrella would have fallen. There's nothing. Her body is not there.
She's
No
not down
blood.
there.
Nothing.
Immediately goes up to the window next to you.
The hell? She speared herself away or something? That doesn't.
I don't know.
She was out to kill herself.
Well, Come on, come over and look.
Believe this.
And then I'm gonna walk back.
As
what is actually going on?
Pipistrella is gone, the line of sand, just the line of salt kind of blows away by an unseen wind.
What's afoot here? What happened when you tried to kill
The
yourself?
lamplighter, or Darius, shakes his head. The first time this happened was in the aftermath of the death of Holy Mother Carmen. We sought to leave. We know we could not go east, for the teeth barred our way back into Islandor. So we tried to leave the city, but there was no way out. At least not for me. I told you, when you came into the city, it was something special, different. We had never seen outsiders pass inside the city before.
But you sick to your spider creatures and...
I'm not saying it is.
I don't control these things. These wretched things are cursed knights. Those who were buried and arose again in some terrible curse that has been afflicted upon all of us.
So why don't they attack you?
I have discovered the secret of Soma.
What is it?
I will say, that being told, every time I have been reborn, I have been changed. Shaped differently. This is now the body I inhabit.
Well, I believe this does change the conversation about, what is inviting him back and all of that. I mean, it would stand to reason that anybody that we have found in this town is basically suffering from the same curse, correct?
The only one who has understood what has happened is the Lightbringer. It is why so many come here to seek answers. But he does not deign to visit the city.
So,
Well, we can pass beyond it, right?
brother,
We
what's
lock
his
him.
name downstairs? Is he dead?
Brother Walter?
Sure.
I don't truly know. I have seen some folk come and go. Some flesh rots, others simply disappear. For me, I awoke in the same place. I awoke in a different place than I had died. I perished in my sick bed at my home and awoke here in the ruins of the temple. And
Guillaume kind of peers back over the window, or through the window.
with each reawakening, I have been changed.
Physically or mentally?
I have been cursed to this form, and I am now bound to the bell tower.
You can't leave the bell tower at all?
I cannot leave the confines of the city. But I feel a compulsion to stay here, to call others, to show them their fate, or at least some morsel of the truth.
Alright.
But we did pass into the city, right? It's not as if we awoke here.
I'm getting the fuck out of this place. That's what I'm doing.
You were the first.
Let's leave. Let's leave the city. Just see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
I'm just up going,
Oh. Come on down.
okay. And I scale down the wall to you guys.
You begin to leave the bell tower with the lamplighter behind. But back in...
Whoa, wait. What's the secret?
To pass beyond the throngs?
Yeah.
I can teach you the incantation if you wish to stay. It will take some time, but what is time anyway at this point?
I'm in.
In for learning the incantation or in for
We gotta get out of
crossing the
this place,
city?
but at least
Both.
we can figure out how to hide from the husk.
Mm-hmm.
And why do the husk want to attack us? If everybody's dead, what's the point?
I don't think everyone is. There is parts of our soul that remain, at least for you. There is something unique about all of you, and when I saw you come into this city, I knew that something was going to change. Brother Walder, his spirit was on the threshold as well. Others alike him, but none like yourselves.
So
None
if you
like you.
jumped out that window right now, you would just be reborn here.
I think it's not something although I am trapped, I fret to think what else would happen to me, what else I'd be condemned for a lifetime, if not in this ill wretched form, what the custodian would have for me next.
The custodian is your god?
The gods are dead, but we are in her realm.
What do you think, Tom? I don't even. I'm gonna lean into Tom because he's a... Wait, you didn't try to cross the line. Maybe it's just me and her.
There's no more line.
That's the spirit.
Whereas it isn't washed away
I don't
by the
know.
wind.
Maybe I'm cursed and you're not.
I'm not cursed.
I wouldn't
I'm
count
not
myself
cursed.
that lucky.
Well, just throwing it out there.
I'm not cursed. Pipistrella
We've
is
been-
batshit crazy.
We've been
I'm just a
rolling
I'm just
together for
a
years.
Ciabra.
No, I know.
There's no way you could have gotten cursed and we didn't.
I don't understand. How long does it take to learn this thing? And are you really just setting us up for this Lord of Light guy to come and fuck us even more than we already are? Because I don't trust you and your 9-foot-tall ass.
I think that there is something greater for all of us in the near future.
Greater? You're ringing a bell to bring more people here to get tortured. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You deserve every torture that happens to you later. That's what I gotta say to you. Teach us the secret, and as far as I'm concerned, jump out the window until you're no more. Because all you're doing is hurting people.
Which is why you could stop hurting people and start helping people.
By teaching us how to combat these.
By guiding people who come to the bell tower towards us. By doing a number of different things. Yeah, that's
Show
what
you
we
the
were saying.
way.
Instead of paying penitence by infinite oblivion, why not actually do some work?
Here's what we can do. That bell is calling people from outside the city into the city. It's causing pain, it's causing suffering. The bell needs to go. That's my ask. The bell needs to go.
Is there a spillicent up there by the bell right
We
now?
haven't
just-
climbed
I
down.
just
She
climbed
just
down.
climbed down.
When the Lightbringer came and charged me with this task, it was an inexorable command, one that I could not ignore. I suspect that it's because it is the curse I am to bear here in Purgatory. But there is a strength I feel in what this bell tower represents to the Lightbringer.
What does that have to do with destroying the bell?
I think he has some sort of hold over the custodian.
Have you tried to destroy the bell yet?
I cannot.
Why not?
That is something I cannot do.
We can do it for you then.
Let's do it. That's the
Climb
one thing
back
you
up
haven't
there.
tried. Let's do it. Maybe it'll break the curse.
To bring the bell down would be to invite death to all of you. There'd be no way to do this without. He looks out the window. Another passage.
Let's do it.
I mean, we're already dead. What does it matter?
No, I don't think we should do it.
I start scaling the wall.
Higher to give her the ropes.
to get up to the
We're
bell.
already half dead right now. We're in purgatory. What if instead of breaking a curse, it ends our immortal lives right now?
And as
If you don't want to be a party to this, I suggest you go down the stairs.
The Lightbringer has a hold of the custodian right now.
My sword's in hand.
Do you think that... What do you think?
I think that if this tower is important to the Minister of Light, then we need to fuck with it heavily.
Fair enough?
That's
in.
what I.
Let's do it.
I say, get under the bell.
If he is a current stranglehold on this entire situation as well as a god, then the only thing that we can do is start ruffling some feathers, make him uncomfortable, get him out of his routine, do something.
If Pipistrella took the plunge, we'll do it too.
I scream, get under the bell.
But what if this makes the Lightbringer kill the custodian for good and the gods really are dead?
We'll be dead by then anyway. It doesn't matter.
Get under the bell!
I just love hearing like from a.
Are we really just gonna kill ourselves?
Yeah.
I
Are we all
am.
going under the bell?
Alright.
Yeah.
Under the bell.
Here we go. Oh God! Under the bell. We're all gonna end up in different places.
I'm gonna swing.
Okay. With the sword.
With the sword.
Okay.
And I'm like, I do this little thing and I just go slow motion.
It's Suspirion sees an absolute coward and jumps out at the last minute.
That a baby.
The
We're
whole
gonna get
tower
anyway.
comes crashing down
It's still a
around
coward.
all
Hell
of you.
yes.
The bell, the scaffolding, the tower collapses.
So I fall too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Do I fall too?
everyone
Let's
dies.
take the floor out.
Dies?
Everyone dies.
Yes.
Now normally that would be the end of the game. Normal. But we're not playing a normal game, we're playing a Data Fox game.
Whoa.
You all awaken in the darkness of a crypt. At first there is nothing but darkness, a cold black darkness. And then there is light, but that light is coming from, well, your friend burning on fire. At the far end of the crypt where you can see 6 sepulchres, the stone coffin still not opened, you find yourselves awaking at the foot of once again. In your hand, you have the sacred remnant you were born with. What's your sacred remnant?
Did I write it down somewhere? Or
It should be a card.
It should be a card.
It's a card.
go with this one.
I have my Pisari's ring.
What do you have, Tuan?
Gravedigger's spade.
Flamberger egg.
Hood of the Hangman.
Benicia's
Venetia's weapon.
temple. And then
Scales of justice.
So dope.
in the darkness, you see that there's a stairwell that leads out. The same stairwell you had came out of into the Brass Paladins Cathedral. And at the foot of it is a man covered completely head to toe in bandages with one hand missing. And he wears the mask of a child.
What? Oh,
I thought it was gonna be brother.
Is it brother?
No.
It's Simon the Small.
yeah, that's what I thought.
All of you, so here's the new mechanic. You have no more fate points. Every time you perish, you gain a permanent chaos rank. Once you reach 10 chaos ranks, the game ends.
Oh shit!
Wait, once one person
No. Once anyone reaches the maximum of 10 chaos ranks, the game
The
ends
game's
for your
over.
character. The
Holy
game ends for your character.
Okay.
So I'm
May I
assuming
get a-
that starts now, yes?
Yes.
Like put
Make
one
it a
in.
permanent
Got you.
marker, please.
What?
Okay, so do I add to the permanent right here? Or do I just do number 2
Just do number 2.
and then mark it
So
to
we don't
4?
start blank now. We
Mark it
go
down,
from
dude.
where we're already at.
Yeah.
Mark it down, dude.
Pipistrel, there is
Would
darkness.
you like a permanent marker?
No, I
And
got
there
it.
is light.
Thank you.
And the smell of burning ash fills your nostrils as you find yourself at the foot of the sepulchre holding
Permanent.
your sacred remnant.
That's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just number 1 because you didn't know. I wanted to hold on to the mechanic until
Okay.
you all look to one another, and there's a moment where you're not sure where you're at or who one another is, and then those memories start to quickly rush back to you. It's like a torrent of emotion and psyche. Like it just fills your brain, your mind.
I
As
got
you
a little
remember
dizzy.
the collapsing of the tower, the words of the lamplighter, your deaths.
I'm gonna say, Pipistrella, you crazy bitch, you tried to kill me.
Well, you should too. You should try to kill me. Do it now.
You can't die.
I
Well,
will
you can't die.
find a way.
You've tried.
I must do so. Cut my head off. Cut my head
No
off right
one-
now.
I'm the one
No
with the
one-
good sword.
No.
No one killed Pipistrella. She's
Anyone have a torch? I'll do it again.
Yeah, if this is going to be the thing that we're getting out of Pipistrella at this point, we might just need to head back over and see what we're doing with that bell tower.
somebody tied
Pipistrella,
her.
I
Let's see if the bell
understand.
tower is destroyed.
Speaking of tying, you can tie a noose.
Oh, did you hear that groan, guys?
Yeah, that's. What's
that
his
Simon?
last name? Smalls,
Smalls?
right? Is that Smalls again?
You see Simon the Small, and at his side is his right-hand person who had been studying underneath of him, a woman who you've come to know as, I'm drawing a blank, Beatrix the Bookbinder. She's a young, pale-skinned woman with long, dark hair and blue robes. One of the arms is covered completely in one of the sleeves, and she has a tattoo beneath of her chin. Your first passage, you hear Simon say.
Is it? I mean, I remember this room from before.
Indeed.
How many times have I crossed this threshold?
Perhaps twice. Perhaps more. I know when you first emerged from this place that there was something different. Like us. Like Beatrix and the others and I.
So you all knew. You all knew that we were dead.
I could not simply tell you. You would have to undergo the passage yourself to believe it.
What happened to the people who helped protect us against the Black Paladin or the Brass Paladin? Are they dead? Are they coming back? Where are they?
You remember the folk that were with Civil? The highwaymen.
Yeah.
And you saw what they looked like in the fight.
Yeah, they were husk.
They have made the passage too many times. Their corporeal form now rots like the husks.
Limited number of uses.
So you must kill me that many more times and then burn me.
No.
Is there a way to go?
I cannot allow myself to live and follow her commandments.
When
I
you
would
were-
allow yourself to live.
When you weren't around,
I can watch you.
you missed some very important information about your very precious custodian. The Lightbringer has the custodian hostage right now. So your god has not left you. Your god is being tortured at the moment, and you can reunite with her, but you have to stay alive for that. So you're really saving this god.
I am so sorry, Pipistrella, Simon says. You see him kind of slowly stand with the aid of Beatrix. There was no way to make you understand without experiencing the passage yourself.
How many times have you been through this passage? Is that where you're falling apart?
He looks to his limbs. I have made the passage 9 times.
I look him over. Does he look different from what he did the last time I saw him?
Well, he's wrapped in bandages like he was before. If you remember, he was like, at one point, he was very infirmed inside Bastion, inside Moreau's home, and he passed on the rod of leadership to you. He still seems very frayed, but perhaps he's kind of mustering what final strength he may have to help to talk. Beatrix has a very calm look on her face as she places one hand on on Simon the Small's underarm and lifts him to his feet, and they begin to kind of walk toward you.
I'm thinking about what the lamplighter said about how he was changed every time he awoke, and I'm looking over my companions to see what differences there are. What's changed
Pull off my hood immediately.
physically?
Well, that's a great question. What would you all describe as changed since your first passage? Or your second? You may choose whatever you think may have changed, though. We'll talk about that at some point, I think, outside the game. Because not only do you gain a chaos ring, you also gain a new trait. And those traits will grow darker and darker until you finally are at 10 chaos rings and you succumb to darkness. The passage.
So at this point, I
So
kind of
everyone looks a little different.
Yeah, there's something different about everyone. And maybe it's just the...
I'm gonna go full Twin Peaks on here. My hair's gonna turn completely white.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe that's your distinguishing mark now? Yeah. That's the paradox. Maybe it's the discovery of that, where everyone looks different. Confusion, anger, frustration.
I'm gonna call it Twin Peaks white.
My purple birthmarks now actually have like an inflamed red to them, almost like the damned.
my eyes look like they're stormy, but they have like, instead of just the pupil, they've got the like lightning shape coming out of it, black lightning shape, but now there's specks of red.
Is it possible that they change with your emotions?
Yeah.
Like deep pools of
Yeah.
darkness that change with your mood?
The storminess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a permanent red after my passage. Permanent red specks.
The Brass Paladin was one of ours at one time. He fell victim to the curse.
He too thought the Lightbringer could show him the truth. I told you that he had been following Bastion for seasons. It was not because he was our enemy, but because we kept him among ourselves. He was the mightiest of all of us, a mighty Mercadian knight. He fell. But that was a long time ago.
As you're telling this story, I walk over to Pipistrella and I get between Pip and Suspirioncy, and I slowly move Suspirioncy away from Pipistrella, as a body block. Very casually though, not forcefully, just very.
But then when you move into me, I notice that my skin is really sensitive now, and it wasn't before I died. So I can feel immediately pain just from you bumping into me.
Looking at Simon, how exactly did the Brass Paladin try to make contact with the Minister of Light? What did he do to try and draw his attention?
The first time he had passed, it was a self-inflicted wound. That's when I noticed a darkness growing within him. A calling, I suppose you could say. It wouldn't be long thereafter, after his third passage, that he would make pilgrimage to the unnamed city where the bell tower was. In time, he returned to our camp and said that the Lightbringer has shown him the way through all of this.
So the Brass Paladin is able to come and go in the city and without.
He nods. He was like you. His story was terrible, but he is no more. At least I think. Whatever happened to him in the fields?
We killed him.
Cut down.
I don't know if we can kill him, but we killed him. Depending on how many times he's died, he's dead, or he's coming for us.
When he came to us and we knew that there was no peace to be had, he brought with him a terrible weapon. One forged in the light of Lucius. A terrible shadow of something of another world. Not of a world that we know, but a dark mirror from where perhaps we came.
I was like, Espy, you got something that sounds like that
Awkward.
about your person?
I said before, there is a mist, a fog, something that prohibits us from moving beyond this realm. We have been running for seasons. But when we passed into the city, it's like the mist was parted. It was the first time that any of us could enter the city. It is a passage, it is a trek we have tried to make before, but to no avail. But after you joined us.
How did you get back here so quickly?
Passage. We heard the ringing at the bell in the city. We heard it echo across the nameless city, and we knew that you would be here.
How long has it been?
A week.
Is the bell tower still destroyed?
It no longer stands.
Can't hear it. Good.
You can remove your injuries. It's been a week passage of time. You can restore yourself to unharmed, restore yourself to unhindered.
All right.
Hey.
That was a nice bed rest.
It's the most violent bed rest.
Above
like you're
table
dead.
question.
Yeah.
Do I get my brawn back?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, we brought the caravan back here. I thought it best that Beatrix and I come to welcome you back. The others were of mixed mind, but I am no longer their leader. Tama is. The caravan is yours, Bastion is yours. Our future is in your hands.
So can we move back into the city? Or do we not know since you've left?
If you can pass through the city, it's very well possible you could pass through the rest of the mist in this land. To find the Lightbringer. To find the answers we seek. How to leave this place.
Told you, simple.
The gods are dead. But there is only one god who rules in this place, and that is the custodian. And her grasp of reality slips. She would not permit us to be as such.
No.
Simon, if you knew you'd return, why did you give up the rod?
I am on my 9th passage.
You're tired.
My body is rotting. I will turn to dust. There will be nothing left of me by the next season.
Fear that your mind is in decline as well?
I am sound enough, if only because of Beatrix's poultices. But it will pass. I will need to go back to my bed.
Right, so we know the Minister of Light does not stay in the city. We know that whatever this mist is preventing anything else from entering or exiting the city.
This is all very, very profound in a way that I never knew I would live my life out like this. I can only imagine what everyone's thinking. And if you want to give up, I wouldn't hold it against you.
Give up.
As he looks towards Pipistrella.
Know that though civil passed, he is among us once again. That is why the highwayman brought him back to Bastion. Why he brought him back to the caravan. Why they urged you not to bury him.
He is back. You weren't part of that yet. Yeah, you hadn't came in yet.
And you're talking to Pipistrella. I get between you and Pipistrella.
Pipistrella, what do you make of it all? Will you continue with us?
I think it's easy. Fight for your god or give up and be a whiny bitch.
Let her speak.
That's it.
If you could prove Clovis wrong that the gods are in fact not dead in Galleon, I mean, that's going to be fun to rub his nose in.
I stand up. I go from my
Your
squatting
mind-
position to standing.
Your mind is the most similar to mine.
I think that's a compliment. I'll take it as one regardless.
Well, it would only be if you would take that as a compliment.
Well, I just see simple things in life. Can we kill this light thing? I hope so.
Let's find out.
I have prided myself on being able to admit when I am wrong.
Go on.
I was wrong when I tried to murder, when I did murder. I forget.
Brother Walter.
You feel so repentant, don't you?
Yeah.
What was his name?
That row.
Just to be fair, it was
throwing
like a
his
month
hands
ago.
Well, that's the problem. It was a month ago that happened.
I was wrong with my judgment of Brother Waldorf.
Do you have anything else to say?
I wish you would have killed me first.
Didn't really give her much of a chance.
I didn't give you a chance. That is correct. What he said.
And what about the judgment that you cast on me?
What sort of judgment? What would you expect?
When you tried to kill me, you just said you were wrong about Brother Walden. Were you not wrong about me too?
We will see what happens when she is saved.
I put my hand up and say, "Let's go."
I'm with you, SB.
Where do you profess that we go? You see as Simon the Small begins to move and Beatrix holds him up.
I was wrong.
We have assembled the caravans, Lord Tamar.
Moth kind of shakes his head.
She extended her hand.
Runs his hand over the rod of leadership. Alright. Let's head towards the edge of the mist, see what happens.
It's at that moment that she said she was wrong and she extended her hand and she took it. And you all see that Pipistrella, who's like 20 something, has liver spots on her hands.
Terrible fate.
Well, do we know how to break the cycle? Do you know how to break the cycle?
I
Do you know where this light person is? I'm not giving him a title, Lord. I'm sorry. He doesn't get to
this
minister, Lord. He doesn't get any of that. Light person is what he gets.
Lord of Majesty. I like it.
he maintains a consortium of a sort, minor lordlings among the realm. I do not know where he holds, but I know that there is one that lives in a village that was once called Sodden, with a twin village called Poil.
Are you familiar with him? Is he as despondent as the man with the big hat?
She is not.
She's like us. Ish.
We have come to call her the Witch of the Wood. She lives among the swamp. None of us attempted to parley, but she, like the Brass Paladin, is different.
And she is a dyed-in-the-wool believer of this,
Light fellow.
Thank you, Clovis.
I truly could not say. The Paladin spoke of her.
And that was after he had discovered the minister of... I'm sorry. Light
Light
guys, particular truth and how he was going
Light
to show
person.
you the way.
Forgive me, there was much that I missed, but you all said that this light guy
He's
has,
not
ca-
white guy.
has captured the custodian.
That is what our big brimmed half friend said.
Yeah, the lantern bearer did say this. He also said he couldn't bring down the the bell tower.
That's where the power of friendship comes in.
And we did it for him.
That's exactly right.
So I know that I wish to find this light guy and bring him to justice. Is that what you all were trying to convince me of when I was
Despondent. We'll just move on from that.
yeah.
Despondent.
We all get dark.
We all go dark. Yeah.
This will be your greatest purpose in your entire faithful life.
My question
We'll
is,
see if it's enough.
how far is it going to set us back that we have to come back here every time we wake up? How do we get back?
Come back here every time. I don't think. Right?
Don't plan on
Difference
taking any more passages if I can help it.
Right?
Hi.
Just don't die.
You can hear kind of a smile from beneath the
That's
metallic
what I'm saying.
mask that,
He's like-
that Simon wears, and he simply says, "If there is an end to this,
Don't.
it will be with the minister, with Lucius Lightbringer, and the only way to him is through his lieutenants. The brass paladin is gone, but the Witch of the Woods is the only other that we know of that lives in the light of Lucius." Yes.
So what was the deal with heading back to the city? What was the point of all that? To take out the big hat?
I think they were just looking for a safe place because they've lost so many lives.
Answers.
We sought haven. And I mentioned before we had tried to pass into the city, but we were unable to. But when you joined Bastion, I knew there was something unique about all of you. The same feeling I got with the brass paladin when he was still a man. It was with you we were able to pass beyond.
I get it. We're special.
I've been special.
We are being tested. Whether we want to acknowledge that or not.
Alright.
All right, let's play the game then.
Beautiful. Let's point me in the general direction of this particular swamp.
Do we not want to figure out how to do the hide from the husk?
That might come in handy.
We killed him.
Cross our
also
fingers that we
Very
did.
That makes me
proficient
so
Hope he
in
wasn't remembered now.
stars now.
Cross our fingers that we saved it.
He looked pretty far gone to me. It may have been his last time.
Yeah, when Suspiriazzi mentions that you all killed him, Pipistrella her mood seems to brighten a little
Right.
bit.
And the tower too. We did
As
that too.
As you emerge from below in the crypt
Her old self's coming back.
where you were interred, you come into the warmth interior of an old temple. There are freestanding pillars everywhere, but the husks are gone.
Oh.
The great cathedral that once stood here has long since collapsed. You're on the same small islet where you had come before, where you discovered the ruins of the church, but amid the pews are the folk of Bastion, the people you recognize,
Interesting. Okay.
including Sybil.
Oh, guys.
Now that you've stepped in the light, you notice the changes to Toma. His face is more gaunt and angular, and he still has his ready smile, but his teeth look just a little bit sharper than they did before.
Well, forgive me. You see, little Puck Huck approach, this
Oh,
small,
Puck Huck.
gnarly-looking man with a misshapen nose and two discolored eyes, wearing a robin's blue egg cape mantle over his shoulders. I do declare, I think I finally find myself with
among brethren. You saved me from that tree. I know not how I ended up there, but here we are together.
Well, let's hope that's not where you were born every time.
Heavens, I hope not.
Again,
Pardon our
as a general rule, I think we should all just avoid dying. Just personally, that's all I'm saying.
Pardon our absence. We were indisposed.
The bookbinder explained that it was important for us to return, and Simon told us the story on the way here. I couldn't believe my eyes until, well, you're standing here before me.
Well, I wouldn't have believed it either. So, we rolled snake eyes.
I know this. I may be a cleaner, but I don't want to go like y'all did. Ugh. Shudders.
What's the matter with being a cleaner?
It's a very dangerous path.
Being a cleaner?
Well, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I got 137 notches on my belt.
Oh my.
He thumbs his kind of thick sausage-like fingers in his belt. He's a man who stands maybe 4 feet tall at best, 4.5 feet maybe.
My first notch was here. All I had done before was punch somebody.
With force.
Well, I used to be a barmaid.
Taking a person's life is no trivial matter, but I don't know. After all this business, when y'all brought me into your camp, it's like something changed in me. I can't rightfully say what it is, but it's all very odd.
In a positive way?
In a what?
In a positive way, I would hope.
In a confusing manner, I suppose. I don't rightfully know what to make of it yet.
Well, sounds like we're gonna fight somebody. We could use a cleaner. We're gonna go kill a witch.
Talk to a witch first. Get some information, then kill a witch. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we gotta know about
Oh,
the
the
light
witch in the
guy.
woods.
gotta go kill that thing.
Step on top.
I got stories about her, or at least about the beast she keeps.
Oh.
All right.
Do you tell?
Well, let's get near this fire and warm up. I'm absolutely famished. It took us nearly a week to get here.
Yeah. We know.
You joined around the fires with the rest of Bastion. You recognize everyone you had met before. Gretel the Fletcher, the woman with striking silver eyes, the androgynous woman that with the undercut, who was the one who initially scouted out the city, the unnamed city, the one that you have a close relationship with, Clovis. Stahl the kettlesmith, the man with the fiery red temperature and the deep southern accent, the man who dug through the undercrop for you to lead you to the bell tower.
Stall.
Harlan the oxmaster with the half Venetian mask. Puck, the man you're talking to now. Sybil the arms master, the old aged arms master with graying hair, but where there was once hair, there's just now mottled skin, and he, like his highwayman, now wears a scarf over his face with only his eyes to show beneath. He no longer requires his cane to walk.
He got one more turn then.
Alma the apothecary, the dark-skinned Chiabran woman who wears no mask. Beatrix the bookbinder, the right-hand person of Simon, his caretaker, as well as a
You want to
librarian
go
of a
back?
sort.
What else? What?
Yeah, because
Give
she
it a
helped
line.
us whenever we were researching the undercroft thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because of course he would be here. I mean, how could he not?
Oh, tall guy.
Among the broken trees, the flock of crows. Hey! You hear Franklin say as he's flapping his wings and he comes over and he settles up on Pipistrel's shoulder.
Franklin.
So,
Yes, that makes me
it
so
happened to you
happy.
too?
Apparently, it's something we all go through.
Well, you know, me and the boys.
Oh, you too.
I've been shot at. I've been eaten. I've been thrown halfway through a yacht at one point. Half drowned in a river.
Weren't you squished once?
You can't hear him.
Oh, that's right.
Franklin
That's
only sounds
right.
like a crow calling to everyone else except for Pipistrella.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I've forgotten. I've
And
forgotten.
remember, this is the one we were following for a while
Yeah.
for leadership.
Oh, how dreadful. Oh. Well, surely after going through all that, some blueberries are in order.
I wouldn't begrudge a blueberry or two, Pip. Look, I know it's
How
weird.
she has these blueberries.
Look, I know it's weird. And Franklin is like rubbing his head underneath Pipistrella's cheek. Trust me, you kind of get used to it after a while.
Yeah, so she's. I did not. I wasn't going to accept it. But somehow or another, someone gave me a bit of hope. As she looks around to a few people around her.
Oh. Sure.
A murder of crows, of course, is amid the leaf-bare trees. And Pipistrella continues talking to this single black raven that's underneath and kind of rubbing its face underneath her chin as you collect around the fires. And there's kind of like a moment where everyone's kind of sees you emerge, and there's a knowingness as they kind of join your company. You feel a familial bond between these 7 people and the 6 of you.
Do we know how many each person is ticked off?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
They probably have their own individual stories, which you can certainly explore as time goes on. But you do know that Simon, as he is rotting, has said he is near his end.
Quickly raise a glass to Stall then and be like, hey, thanks for your help in the undercroft. I know that's not necessarily what you're looking to do, but we needed it.
Well, you know, shit went sideways, and here we are. Mate, you almost as naked as the day you're born. In a metaphorical sense, I suppose, souls laid bare before the custodian and all with the passage.
As
I went through it too.
How'd you die?
Well, that's a sad story.
Hmm.
Most of my undoing my own ignorance. I got horse kicked. And I woke up.
Oh my god. I was not expecting that.
And I woke up, and right then and there was Lord Simon, but he was different back in those days. He wasn't sick as he was now. He told me the whole thing. Didn't blame him, of course. And then I got one up and got stabbed by the brass paladin, and when I awoke, just as you did, I knew it to be true.
as stories are being told, I'm just kind of naturally walking around the outer rim of everybody, looking out, just on alert.
Yeah.
No, don't interrupt. She's talking to the crows.
Oh!
Why you gotta be that way?
Oh!
So, who knew about the witch?
Well, I heard them hold a bunch of malarkey out of. Are you talking to Stall still?
I don't care. Whoever knows about the witch.
Yeah, it was Little Puck Huck.
Puck Huck said he's
Had a beast.
Oh, that beast among the swamps. That's an interesting story. Maybe we can break our fast, and I can take my constitutional. Then we can talk a little bit more about it. That's going to take a quick break. Pretty good. So we pick back up in inside the remnants of the cathedral where you began in the first session. And you're there with all of Bastion. Everything has been brought back, and they have also brought back with them their forge, their tools, everything that you would have had access to back in the manor. You now have access to here as well. Beatrix has taken the books and loaded them into her caravan. Excuse me. They have also managed to scavenge the coach that you had in Bastion that was broken down. Outfitted also with horses, so you have your own coach to go by now.
Nice.
Damn, we just moved up. We
Yeah.
It's intermediate tier. I mean,
That's
not only is it
sleep.
like a mechanical important thing, it's narratively important too. So you had, since you have everything you had there, save for Brother Walder. Oh,
Oh.
he's your apiarist. He would have been, but whatever.
He did.
You go.
Yeah.
Well, he
He'd
could
be
be.
dead.
As
So-
far as we know.
That's valid. Yeah.
Harlan, the Oxmaster, has gathered everything, and they will depart whenever you are all ready. Whatever you wish to do from here.
I'm gonna go ask. Is it Stahl? If he has a shield for me to go ahead and have with me for the adventure.
Yep.
For the adventure.
What kind of shield do you want? Wind
I
shield?
think we had a brass shield.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I've
Give you
already
wind shield. I thought you already give you
bronze shield. I have one.
Bronze shield,
Sorry.
They can
Indian.
make your munitions plate fitted now as well, Lord Tomas, so you don't have to wear ill-fitted armor, because that
Cool.
doubles the initiative, doubles the encumbrance, which would be 12 into that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't think this is working for me, as she's never really gotten quite a very good grasp on the hunting bow.
You're better with your fists, Pip.
Yeah, except for it really hurts.
It does hurt.
So,
Maybe we can fashion you a brass fist to put over your fist.
We could just give you some knuckle dusters.
sure.
Or you could use a staff.
As long as it's in my hands, I feel like I can do something with it. I don't know. Just far away, it doesn't feel right.
You want to
And-
see the
and-
whites of their eyes?
Yeah. Essentially, I'm saying I've got no ranks in simple ranged or martial ranged, and
And the fact that you shot one of us.
That's kind of fun. It's also fun kind of narratively too, right? That's a
We have
Weapon
determined
has
that
slew.
I would not.
punch
I
like
would
a
not
runaway freight
mind.
train.
Yeah.
I would not mind being a ranged character if I had the stats to back it up, but yeah, I'm just going to hurt everyone else in our group, as opposed to the
so.
Not the enemy.
Unfortunately, you don't have the secret of Soma to pass beyond the husks without being noticed.
We didn't take the time on that one, did we?
Well, you get something greater.
Oh, what?
Just kidding. You didn't.
Oh!
You're dead.
Friendships?
No.
Is the only thing I
Friendship.
would potentially like to do is
Victory over the
Yeah.
big
talk
hat.
to Seville. Is that right?
Sybil?
Civil.
Yeah, so Sybil's the armsman. He kind of, imagine, if you would, like Deva Seaworth, but
Hell
he's
yeah.
kind of an older looking gentleman. His hair has fallen out, however, and his skull is like half rotten. As he has now he wears a scarf over his face, but he has these bright, striking blue eyes. He used to walk on a cane, no longer though.
Interesting. Mostly, I'd just be interested in getting perhaps a finer, longer blade.
Oh, are you talking about from Stahl? Because he's the one who will fashion weapons and armor for you.
Copy. Yes, stall.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anything that's on the simple melee or simple ranged list, you can have access to.
Okay.
Otherwise, you must plunder. So that includes. And by the way, you can also have access to armor leading up to. Well, sorry, I should clarify this earlier. My apologies. You can have anything that's brigandine or below for armor,
So
if you wish it.
not martial melee.
That's
just
right.
simple melee.
But you will convert one soma for every 10 gold crowns.
I have
Never
lots of
mind.
Soma, guys.
So I was looking for a martial melee. Never mind. I will scrounge for that
I
bad
will
boy.
be converting one Soma.
Yeah. So your economy now will, in this case, will be in gold crowns or in Soma. However, I think that you actually recovered some
We have
treasures at some point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
I'll
bobbles.
Bobbles. That's right.
Bobbles,
Bobbleheads.
Bobbles.
I have
Popping
still
bubbles.
yet to
Bubbles
got
and
Soma.
cans.
We got 2 bobbles.
That's
I
right.
give one Soma to
I get some golds.
him.
Yeah. So one Soma will be worth 10 crowns, equivalent of 10 crowns in the book.
Gosh
And
dang.
you can buy anything that's simple or martial. You can buy. You can't buy medicines yet. You can't buy bandages.
Oh, okay. So
Can't buy
Skull
bandages?
may have martial melee weapons available if I can pay for it, or
You would need to scrounge it.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
copy. Thank you.
You know what? I would say actually you could probably buy laudanum and smelling salts freely,
Perfect.
Okay.
because if we recall, like that's what Alma was working
That's what
on.
Alma was doing, yeah.
You know what? Actually, I think it actually makes sense to actually give you access to any medicine or poison, honestly, in the book.
Just not bandages.
Well, yeah. As weird as that sounds, like you'll need to find honey.
Yep.
Still.
Yep.
But she'll have ample supply for now of some drugs, maybe.
And we don't have an apiarist.
No.
You do not. You killed him. Or sorry.
Where are the drugs?
She's dead.
All that honeycomb was in a crate.
He's dead. So you had a bobble.
Lois.
Roll percentiles.
Oh no!
How many did you have?
I just remembered that.
2 bobbles.
Maybe
Go ahead
we
and roll
could go
percentiles.
dig
Let's
it
see what
out.
the first and second one is.
Shit.
We're like a week outside the city at this point, I
Yeah,
think.
well, we could still get there.
55.
A
We'll
wax
get there.
bag containing 2 beheaded, gutted, and plucked geese, covered in gold. What's
Going
your second
full
one?
edge lord on this.
You don't have to
Yeah,
write
my
that down.
excellent-
I'll tell you the
Okay.
values. I just thought it'd be fun to tell
Okay.
you what the bobble would look like.
Interesting. And the second one is 18.
Crate
A
of honey.
jar of rare mustard.
Mmm.
A bobble is worth 3d10 plus 3 brass pennies each, so it's going to roll and determine how many it's worth. Objects d'art are worth 2d10 plus 2 silver shillings, and heirlooms are 1d10 plus 1 gold crowns. So what we'll probably do in the future is, it's opposed to like saying, as an example, like picking and plucking how much everything may be worth. We're just going to classify it by baubles, objects d'art, and heirlooms. Like we do in the back of the revised core rulebook. We haven't really used this a lot
So those
for
bobbles
small
are
versions. If you ever want to know what it is, I have tables ranging up to 300 for everything.
Sweet.
I also have values for gemstones, so we'll cover some. We'll probably get more into that, which is something we haven't really done a lot of in previous games either. So if you want to turn in your calcified soma in exchange for things you may want to buy in the book, you can buy bucklers, wooden shields, brigandine and below for armor, any simple melee or simple ranged weapons, ammunition,
Which
poisons, and medicine.
book? Where?
The red book,
This one.
this one here. Let's include bandages in it too, because
What page?
it probably makes sense. Like, why would they have lima but not honey, right? Because you
They
need
didn't have it.
opium to make other things too.
Experience, what page?
72.
Sweet.
If you're looking for armor, you'd start on page 69. Lol.
Ew.
Nice.
Yeah, you would.
Nice.
So armor, I don't have any items. Interesting.
So yeah, you can trade. Like I said, you can trade in your calcified soma for this. Because coins are a rarity, it'll always come back to that, because those things, calcified soma actually has, we know it has purpose in Bastion. You've already discovered some of its secrets, but there are other things to discover about it over time as well.
So I have 3 soma.
And I can
30
do
crowns you can spend up to.
simple melee
Sweet.
or martial melee?
Simple melee or simple ranged.
So
Or simple ranged, gotcha.
I'm gonna do, if I could, then I'm gonna buy leather armor for 20 gold, and then a metal shield for 3 gold.
Darkness.
23 gold total.
What is the shield
You
actually?
can do wooden shields and bucklers, but not metal shields.
What did the wood?
Can't
What
do.
does the shield give you?
So it depends on.
A metal. So, actually, you know, you can do metal shield. Why not? Sure, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
either way.
So shields, depending on the type of shield, it gives you defensive, which is plus 10 to parry. Some give you defensive and light, which is plus 1 to damage when held off the offhand. Some also give you
Maybe
protective,
not.
which allows you to parry ranged weapons, like arrows and bolts.
Okay.
Chinks.
Betcha. Yeah, so metal shield is okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You said we had baubles to sell as well.
Yeah, we already converted them.
Okay, so
That
and
is the
convert them
totality
and
of
someone else spent them.
It's 28 brass pennies worth of bauble. I mean, I'm leaving it here if we need it later, but you know.
But yeah, you can find medicine and poisons on page 66 if you want to know exactly what they do. The prices are on 65.
This is going to be.
It's basically nothing.
Why am I
It's
not?
a bauble.
I'm getting the books
What do you,
confused.
Tim? What do you have for armor?
Brigandine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is the man at arms in this book?
And you gave me the Zweihander. I was like,
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
start
need
this
anything
way.
else.
It's so iconic.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
Oh.
in the starter kit, which is now on Amazon for pre-order,
up?
the Soulsborne begins with a Zweihander.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
In fact,
Value!
for those who are watching, the Zweihander starter kit is now on Kickstarter. It has a hologram on the Zweihander logo.
I see that.
As a first time player.
No, it's this is no joke. This is 100% true. This box weighs 666 ounces. That was not intentional. It just turned out that way.
Whoa,
I'm not
that's
even kidding.
awesome.
So
It's
metal.
It's like 4.12 pounds.
So we're going to talk more about darkness because we've talked a lot about darkness.
Light?
Go, please take them away from me.
Oh,
No, I have darkness inside of me.
Can I buy some tobacco and bandages?
sure. Yeah. So tobacco gives you plus 10 gives plus 10% to charm, intimidate, and rumor test for an hour. But if you suffer stress, fear, or terror within 24 hours, you have to take more tobacco or gain 3 corruption. You know,
Oh.
because when you get stressed out at work, you gotta smoke.
Oh,
These form addictions.
It's good to show people it's not.
But you look cool whenever you smoke
I
cigarettes. So you
know.
get plus 10 charm, plus 10 intimidate because everybody who smokes is a badass, and plus 10 rumor because you go outside to smoke and chit chat.
Oh, smart.
That's why it has plus 10 to all 3 of those skills. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It is
mean, I have to
addicting.
pick up some of that as well. So
I'm
that I
not
can
saying there's a drug-based economy in Zweihander, but I am saying there's drug-based economy in Zweihander.
Okay.
I need to actually pick up some tobacco as well so I can keep using my True Detective.
Can you use tobacco for True Detective?
It's considered poison.
Oh,
Now, I will clarify something.
stronger
For you.
it is, the better you're.
The stronger the poison, the more likely you are to succeed that
Shut
test.
up.
Yeah.
I'll be danged. That's awesome.
So
Cool.
if you took opium,
Oh my god.
you fall unconscious for an hour. That's what its effects are. So if you took opium, your chances would likely be trivial scrutinized test for True Detective. But if you took other drugs, like, and we just kind of judge it on a case-by-case basis, but tobacco's like the easiest drug to get a hold of, so like its chances are a little more difficult to provoke your True Detective ability.
But it's also not completely destroying everything
That's right.
immediately.
But to Tim's
Gotcha.
point, like the stronger the drug you take, the more likely you are to succeed at that test.
Really interesting. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was-
Good to know.
I kept very strong drugs when I was.
The alchemists of the Zweihander world have not discovered methamphetamine yet.
Cool. That's fine. Let's give him some years to catch up. That's fine.
There's no cocaine. You can't be Sherlock Holmes.
No.
There might be.
It'll be in Radiator.
What's an S-Talk?
That's a long, slender sword that's used for.
Should be descriptions.
Yeah, well, there's no descriptions
Oh, in
inside
there,
this book.
okay.
No, but it is stock.
here.
I think is it adaptable? Is that what the quality is on it?
Adaptable and finesse.
Yeah, so it's imagine like a long one or two-handed fencing weapon, but it actually is sharp.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Along the whole edge.
Yeah.
I just
Got
looked it
the
up. and it's
perfect
very
weapon
cool.
for me.
Oh yeah.
Which yeah.
A farming implement.
Nice. What do you have?
What is it?
Take
Okay.
a guess.
A scythe?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh my
Makes perfect.
That's right.
I thought you were gonna do fist.
Reaping them souls.
No, I mean, all my characters,
It ain't
all
much,
my,
but it's honest.
it's like that's
I
a
know, it's
tired
true.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to try some other things for a little bit.
Yeah.
Sweet, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. So we'll wrap the session for tonight. So what you'll do is we still have to roll corruption that still exists. I don't think did anyone gain corruption though? I don't think anyone did.
No.
So you can move one step to
died.
order or chaos ranks. It's up to you. But these ranks are not permanent. Keep that in mind.
Right.
I will say a quick point of clarification. Because I think it's unfair to strip away your fate points and not give you something for it, convert those fate points into permanent order ranks.
Oh.
Yeah, that's new.
So
what
use
if I
that
just
black
got a
pen to mark
fate
it
point?
permanent. What's that?
What if I just gained another fate point?
Convert into a order rank.
Oh, okay.
Permanent order rank. So in the future, you'll convert your fate points into order ranks. Or you could choose to offset a permanent chaos rank if you want.
Gotcha.
So, what do fate points do now? Like, once you get to the top of order, what
There's
does
no
that do?
point of fate. At this point, it's going to strip away chaos ranks probably. Or we can turn it into new traits and abilities. We need to probably dive into Mongosh to find out a little bit more what we can do with those things. But we'll figure it out between sessions. I don't have an easy answer to that right now. I just have an answer for how we're going to handle character death. I think at this point.
You got
Can you
a
throw
I mean-
more?
dry erase.
Yeah. First, I would have to actually get a fate point for us to actually worry about that in the first
Yeah,
place.
that's
So.
a good point. So we'll go around the table and talk about character perspectives. But I would say be sure to give yourself in a free unlock in your new profession.
Oh, sweet.
We'll go through yours here just briefly, Sarah. So starting with Aspillicin, let's talk about tonight's session.
I felt really, really protective of Pip. But I also felt when I was up near the bell, I was just really ready, and it was really hard for me to not just act without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So Aspillicin was having to really restrain herself in that moment because I just wanted to. I wanted to do it. I was kind of on the side of Clovis, and was just ready to do it. But I was holding on to it. But then after the Pipistrella incident, I felt immediately like my focus has shifted, and I felt the need to kind of protect her.
Cool. Okay. What about Lord Tomas?
Lord Tomas. So Lord Tomas was of the mind, much like Clovis, in that he wanted to just get this thing, kill the big hat man. He had a feeling it was, if we didn't kill him, it would bite us in the ass at some point. So once the whole tomfoolery happened with the assault and everything, and Pipistrella jumping out the window, it just seemed that everything that Big Hat had been doing, I'm going to keep calling him that.
And not Big Hat. Right behind Big Hat.
Yeah.
Everything that Big Hat had been doing, like, hadn't done anything. Like, he was like falling more and more into the raccoon trap or whatever. You know, nothing he had done had like furthered the cause. So I was just like, we got to do something different. We got to do something new just to see what happens. So that's kind of why I kind of insisted that we had to take this bell down. And from the beginning, I wanted to climb the bell tower, see what was there, and it was my intention in the end to bring the bell tower down at some point. So mission accomplished.
Yeah, I was gonna say mission accomplished, right?
Power of friendship.
That's right. What about for Clovis?
Well, I'm on the aircraft carrier with the banner. Because I wanted to burn the thing down at the beginning. So,
I like how we agree with each other, but like I'm like
Not in the
I'm
extremes.
slightly more patient.
not in total
slightly
extremes.
more curious, I guess, which fits in because that's my order.
I think the one thing Clovis learned is that maybe Tama and him are kind of a little, maybe too gung ho, and that maybe this
It's everyone
this
else's
side of the
problem.
table's a little more the reserve
2/3 of this side of the table.
side of the table. Yeah, Captain Crazy Pants did not. Normally she's reserved. What are you talking about? this side of the table and their reserved nature might
Perfect.
benefit us at some point.
Perfectly put together all the time.
Until today.
No, until like a couple of sessions ago. She
Yeah.
started to lose it then.
What about Suspiriancy?
Suspiriancy was just being her normal selfish self. Like,
That's
Pipistrella takes her gods and her customs very serious, and once Suspiriancy felt it a threat to what she wanted to do, then she was very cruel, which is one of her alignments, to Pipistrella, leading her to commit suicide. So I think, like, Suspiriancy is just the ultimate high school mean girl at this point.
she really is.
I know.
I'm going to come to Adam last, but let's move next to Guillaume.
Oh, Guillaume, oddly enough, feels a slight sense of relief and kind of just renewed fervor more than anything. Dying didn't really, for some reason, didn't really scare him. Didn't really like hit him too particularly hard. What really hit him very hard was the fact that kind of the path in front of him is a lot more clear now, and the understanding of what he is standing in makes it that much simpler for him to go to the next task, because he's just very point A to point B dude. Like, that's what he wants to do, and he wants to study point B as hard as he can and then move on to the thing. So like, now that he has like this kind of very clear direction, simple, not easy direction, then now he's just excited and ready to go, and more so than anything now just wants to keep this group close. And is now, although at most times in this entire game has been probably closest to Pipistrella, is now a little on the fence with Pip. Now a little on the
Now?
fence.
Not after the
Hell no.
sessions before?
No, actually no.
When
Now.
she killed an innocent man.
Yeah.
That's where it where it started. Yeah, that was very much when it started for
and
Guillaume.
then she took a flat.
Yeah, and then she did the thing for sus, and then jumped out of a window. I was like, what is? Please, Pip, let's take it down to a 2. You're at like a 12?
Nah,
Let
it's
me get
over.
2.
And also set herself on fire.
And then set herself on fire.
Okay.
And then asked her friends to kill her. So yeah, that was like...
By beheading.
But other than that, no.
Like, kill.
Guillaume's doing great, man.
As soon as it saw a mental
all
health
that.
reaction,
Feels
I
good,
just
great.
felt.
So what about
very
Pipistrella?
Beautiful, yeah.
Well, Pipistrella, like, absolutely had her world shaken. Her faith was called into question, and, like, I decided to play it the type of, like, there is no way that the faith could have been called into question. So if like that's it, then how does a person like that resolve it? And that is to follow the faith to a T. And the first person to, she should lead by example in a weird like super rationalizing way. Yeah, and so it was like, okay, well then, I need to live by the judgment I had given to other people, and so, that whole shock of Suspiriancy being Hermosity in her mind was like, oh shit, this is like too much. I need to cleanse this in the name of the custodian, and then realizing that she herself was this abomination, because that's the words used in some of the writings about the undead, is that she was an abomination. So she immediately knew exactly what to do, and that was to give her soul back to the custodian, whether or not there was any reward. So then to wake up, have it denied. And like Adam's sitting here thinking, how do I justify this? There's not really any way to do it. So yeah, she would set herself on fire, and then she would see other people. And at that moment, it was like, okay, do I fight them all, or do I just plead with the one person who's most likely to?
I'll give it to you.
Casually,
yeah.
I'm along with it.
And so, she was like, well, she's going through the superstitions too. Like, she tried just killing herself. No, that didn't work. Okay, fire. And then the next superstition was cut off the head, and if that didn't work, it would have been a stake through the heart. It would have been all of those things.
Let's just cover everything.
Holy water, throw you in a river.
But then her savior, in somebody that she did not expect to be her savior, came through and told her, "You can save your God." And immediately, all of that religion came back to where she could still accept it. And so was immediately okay with having a holy quest to save her God.
The comfort of your faith.
Yeah. And went back to kind of slightly being her old self. But
Well,
it's gonna have other effects.
I don't think the
Yeah.
table's itself
Yeah.
after what happened.
No.
So we're just gonna-
That was an exorcist head turning.
Michelle used to be the person who couldn't climb through a window, and then she just went on a murderous rampage.
Is it self-murder? Is it murder?
She tried to kill Suspirianzi.
Yeah, true.
She tried.
She cast it's the new spell, your turn undead spell. You just
I just got it. Yeah.
Be gone!
Lesser spell instead of 1d10 plus willpower, it's 2d10. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, when I rolled what I did, because I rolled a 15 and it ended up being 22. Yeah, it's just crazy. But fortunately, I didn't. Well, I guess if I'd have killed you, it wouldn't have mattered, right?
Well, we all would have found out through my death that you come back.
Everyone would have found out one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, I didn't know it was going to happen tonight. I didn't know if this would be the night I would kind of give the reveal. I've been trying. That's why with the first fight you had, the brass pal, I was like, oh, they're definitely going to talk to the brass pal. Nope, just fine. And then I was like, maybe there's opportunity here at the lamp with the lamplighter.
Yeah.
And I tried to kind of feed morsels of just kind of some things along the way. But I think it's like I was listening to a video today by Slyforge. It's this professional GM, and he's talking about how they had conducted an experiment like 1973 where somebody would tap a story with their foot and the other person had to guess what the song is. They were popular melodies on the radio, and nobody can typically pick it up, right? It was a high failure rate. You couldn't always guess what the song was. So like you wouldn't know what song that is. But but not everybody may. It's a generational thing. So he was talking about how like a good game master sometimes can't be sparing. Sometimes you have to tell players what's actually happening, because what's in my head, seems it's super methodical, but the stuff that comes out in play, you're going to read it differently.
Sure.
So I was like, this has got to be the moment. This has got to be the moment to tell them tonight's the night. I didn't think it happened tonight, but it happened that way. So
It's kind of perfect with Estrella's death, right?
yeah,
It really worked.
I mean, we also got a trifecta of kills here, guys. We killed the Shade, we killed the Spider,
Oh my god.
we killed
Killed
Big Hat,
ourselves.
we killed Big Hat
they
Guy.
call it a hat trick. I think
Trifecta.
literally a hat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hat trick because
If
of Big Hat
if
Guy.
I can't have that hat, no one
No
can.
one will. So, next session, we'll continue with the damned, because you are, in fact,
Damn.
the damned.
Yeah, let's go.
And
Title
we'll
card,
back for
please.
session
Got title
12. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, viewers. If you like what you're seeing, take the next step. Head on over to our Patreon, where we create content for Zweihander and other games. Just go to grimandperilous.com and click on the Patreon button. Thanks.